So hello everybody. Today we have my favorite filmmaker in the world, my mom, photographer.
I took a lot of videos too of a lot
true.
of ball games.
I guess you're my favorite videographer and photographer.
Well, thank you.
Today we went out and shot a bunch of pictures at the creek with me, my dog son Nassus, her grand dog, and that was fun.
Yes, it was. I enjoyed it.
You had a big backpack on, or I had the backpack, but then I had to take it off for every picture, so then you ended up being the...
I carried it, yes.
You carried it, and then we took some tennis shots out in the middle of the creek.
We didn't take any pickleball, did we?
I took one, I think, the victory shot.
Oh, yes.
That was a fun one. And then Nassus had some good shots, getting the ball and bringing it back. But what we're going to talk about today is how my mom is the best mom in the world and how she's a good caregiver. How she's, and what she's, I don't even know if you'd say learned about caregiving, but just what makes you such a good friend and an amazing mom. Because, well, I'll just start off with one story.
All right.
So my memory of mom, this isn't too long ago, a couple years ago. I was in San Marcos, and I had lost all of my friends, basically. Moved apartments, moved across town. My friends moved away. Relationships ended.
I remember.
You remember. And there's one night, and also this was the time in my life where I was starting up my new, at the time it was new gaming website where I taught people how to make and sell board games. So that was just starting to get really big when all of this outside of work stuff happened. But anyway, the one night I remember in particular, and I'll probably forever remember, is you called me to check in, and you're like, well, how's everything going? And I was like, oh, it's all right. And then you asked me about one of my friendships that had just ended, relationships. And I didn't talk because I couldn't, because I was like starting to cry. And then you said, well, do you need me to come down? I still couldn't talk. And then I just started crying out loud instead of just in my head. And you said, all right, I'll be right down.
As quick as right down can be.
And right down at that time was 2 hours exactly, 2 hours and 5 minutes away. And I think she got there in 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Yep.
And she had dinner with me for like 20 minutes and then left. Or it was probably like an hour, but
yeah.
But you drove 2 hours just to see me for the dinner, and then you had to go back and get back to work the next morning. So
that's right. I just had to make sure you were okay.
Yep, and you did, and that meant a lot to me, especially at that point where a lot of I had moved down to San Marcos and didn't have as much down there, and then the few things I did have kind of all blew up at once. People moved away,
right?
Whatever, life happened. But yeah, that kind of thing, and that's not just one thing in my life, but you've done this stuff all throughout my life. You know, I get kicked. Let's talk about getting kicked out of daycare.
Oh, yes.
Do you want to tell this story? I have my version of it.
I'll tell you my side. Your July birthday, and everybody had been telling me, don't start him in school this year. You wait a year so he'll be older. You need to wait so he'll be older. Don't start him when he just turned 5 for 1 month.
What was making you want to start me early?
I wasn't starting you early. I was starting you on time because the law says you start if you're 5 on September 1st, and you were going to be 5 on September 1st. But everybody said, yeah, but those that turned 6 on September 2nd are almost a year older than him. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll think about it. So I went to tell the daycare, and they were like, well, we hate to tell you this, but if you keep him out another year and don't start him in school, you're going to have to find another daycare because we just can't take care of him anymore.
Because I was a problem child.
It was very strange. When I would bring you in the morning, the class would all step back up against the wall and start playing over and leaving all this open space. And then you would hear this one little girl that had taken charge that would just stare at you, and then she'd go, "He's okay today." Or she'd go, "He's not in a very good mood. Let's just stay back a while."
Yeah, so I was a bit temperamental.
Yes, you were. And so then when I did start you on time, the daycare warned the school. And about a month.
Let's talk about what they were warning them about. Why was I a problem child? What was I doing
in daycare?
Yeah.
You tell us what you were doing. You were.
I don't remember a lot. I do know that I would throw chairs.
Yes.
I don't know what else I did.
You would pick on people and push them and leave me alone and throw toys down.
I was not nice. And I tell people this story now as an adult, and they're like, "Well, I never would have ever thought that you were."
Part of the problem was once we got enough food in you, your whole personality changed. It was all geared around food. And when you started acting like that, if we were like out shopping, I'd say, "Okay, guys, we got to stop and go eat something." And we'd have to go eat. And then you'd be back to being okay.
Huh.
And that's how it was a long time. But then we get you to kindergarten. And things are going along. Yeah, they've warned the school. Y'all better watch out. He does not behave well. You're going to have to really buckle down on him. So after about a month, your teacher stopped me when I was picking you up, and she's like, "I've always wanted to ask you something. I don't understand why the daycare called me." And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, before school started, they called to warn me that Calvin was just uncontrollable." And she said, "I don't get it. He's never done anything in class that was misbehaving."
Oh, it's an angel.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said, "He's an angel in class. He doesn't misbehave at all." So we decided you must have been bored at daycare.
That's what I would guess. And I don't remember looking back on it, but throughout my life, I get bored pretty easily, and boredom can definitely spark some not fun emotions and
that's true.
attitudes from me.
That's true. Yes.
So yeah, I went from problem child, outbreaks every day, throwing chairs, I guess, I don't know, fighting people. I don't remember really fighting people.
You didn't really fight them, but you'd be like, "Leave me alone." And just kind of, just not really.
Wanted my own
space.
Yeah,
you wanted your space. That's right.
Yeah. So I guess the daycare at the time for me wasn't stimulating enough, so I was wanting to get out. And once we were doing, I don't know what you do in kindergarten, coloring and creative stuff, I guess.
But that's why I went ahead and started you. I didn't hold you back a year.
You couldn't find another daycare?
No, I decided, no, I'm going to start him because I think the change will do him good. And it did.
I think you chose well. Good job, Mom.
It did.
So, did you have anything else to add on that?
No, that was a fun time.
And then growing up in school, elementary, middle school, high school, I only remember going to the principal's office once in elementary. And that had to do with my competitiveness. We were playing dodgeball, and I don't know what happened, but I guess I was losing. One of my friends ended up scratching him in the face. And that, I don't know exactly what happened during that, why I scratched him, but we were playing dodgeball. It was very competitive, second grade competition.
Yes, very.
Nothing at stake except for, I won at dodgeball or I lost at dodgeball. That's it.
That's right.
And that's the day.
Not even a certificate or a medal or anything.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's just pride.
Yeah.
But after that, I don't remember really getting in trouble.
I don't think you ever did.
At all. I mean,
I don't think
I'm
you
sure
did.
Some classes I might have gotten bored and I was told to, quiet down or whatever. But nothing like principal's office worthy.
Right. No.
So I've learned over time to manage that anger and how to deal with the boredom and healthier ways to deal with it. So.
And you're now a healthier competitor, but you're still very competitive.
That's very true. Last night at pickleball, I didn't tell you this story.
No, not yet.
Well, it's just there's a couple. I get really competitive still, and I try really hard to not be so competitive, especially Well, last night was our pickleball league, and it's fairly competitive. We're not playing for anything, but there's certain people that are more competitive there, and some games it will be casual. You know, people that are playing within your group, your 4-player group, are casual, and you're just there to have fun. And then there's some people who are there to compete.
Right.
And when I get in with those, I'm in compete mode. And I didn't get mad at anybody, but I definitely got frustrated when I lost one and didn't want to have anything to do with anyone for a bit.
Oh, that's how. Yeah. When you lose, you shut down. You're like, just leave me alone. Leave me alone.
And I knew that I had entered that mode, and so a healthy way to deal with that was to separate myself and take a break, and that's okay, and not stay in there and feel like I have to be around everyone at the moment and then get angrier and then carry that into the next game. So one good thing that helped was 2 of my pickleball students had showed up.
Oh.
And I hadn't even, they showed up and I was in my upset mode or whatever. I didn't even realize they were there until oh, Calvin. I was like, oh, hey. And then that was actually really helpful for me getting out of being frustrated at the game that I just lost and then back into, oh, yeah, real world. People play just for fun. It's okay to have fun.
They do.
But
just like when you play with me, it has to be for fun because I'm not very good.
Yeah, so when I play games with Mom, it's super fun. We're just there to enjoy life. When anytime Drew's there, my little brother, it's competitive.
Yes.
If Mom happens to be playing, sorry, Mom. It was me and Drew, did you win or did I win? And and Mom sometimes well, I won. And we're oh, okay, who got second? This big brother's rivalry.
I know.
But you win some too.
I do. There's one game y'all have trouble. One game you have trouble beating me at.
What is that? 7 Wonders
Duel. 7 Wonders Duel. Don't know why. I don't know if y'all let me win, but I tend to win at that game. It's
You do
fun.
tend to win.
But now I'll play at Gen Con 12 or 14, 16 hours straight, losing every game I play, and I still keep playing.
Gen Con's fun. It's the biggest gaming convention in the nation. It's in Indianapolis. We've gone, 6 years or something.
Yeah.
We always have a lot of fun there.
It is. It's
Mom
a lot
even
of
played
fun.
in her first game tournament.
Yes, I did.
Card tournament. That was fun. Me and Drew, the reason we went to Gen Con the first time was because me and Drew were competing in a card game. And for me, I noticed that I don't travel hardly at all. I don't like traveling, especially planes, going across state, all that. But I will travel if it means I'm competing.
Right.
And I've noticed that. And so I had traveled across the entire 5 states or however
Because
long.
your mother drove you.
Because my mother drove me. So we went over there to Indianapolis and played in a card tournament. And then we made that a tradition. Even when the card tournament died, that card game died, we ended up still going for fun because we had so much fun with Mom. But anyway, this was a fun time.
It was.